All right, I think I've just crossed over into the really really latecomer geekitude, because Jaja is at the moment very much into a kind of a fantasy anime online game. Twilight. I can't even remember what its name it is. Um, we've been watching Studio Ghibli Miyazaki films. We've decided to start Avatar: The Last Airbender. Not the movie. Not the movie. We shall not speak of the movie until maybe we watch the whole. If we watch everything, then we'll circle around to the movie. So we watched the first two episodes of The Last Airbender. The first two episodes, yeah. So um, kind of a setup one with them finding this little boy in the ice. These two sort of um, what almost seemed like coded as kind of like Inuit uh, um, sister and brother. The brother being very goofy, the sister having the powers of water bending. Apparently, this is one of these kind of split into four elements of water, fire, earth, and air. And there has back in its history about 100 years ago, there was the firebenders got very war got it very much into the war and started to declare war on everyone, and has been slowly battling all the other elementals, all the other peoples of the world to kind of conquer them all. And it's been going very badly. But it's foretold or something like that that there will be the last avatar, an airbender, will come and will defeat them and bring peace or something like that. I should check up that again, but this is my very first vague impressions. Um, and but it's been gone for 100 years. They haven't seen him. It's like maybe he's never gonna he's no longer. All the other airbenders are extinct, but this brother and sister, when they're arguing out on the ice, the sister, who is an airbender, gets angry with the brother for being kind of a sexist guy who kind of blames her for his silly things of he should have turned left, but he turned right instead, and their little craft got crushed by an ice floe, and they're ended up on a little floating bit of ice. And she gets angry and she destroys a giant iceberg. And underneath that giant iceberg is this ball, kind of a ball of ice, and within it is a strange looking kid with like an arrow going down on its head. Um, she rushes over against his brother's protest, whacks it, and lets him out. And it's this little kid who is an airbender, the last airbender. Him and his his flying bison, who at the first part we don't see flying, we just see him paddling around in the water. It's like, yeah, it's a cute little dog friend. It's even if it's a gigantic big bison, it coded as basically a dog. Um, so yeah, and we get that, and we get this firebender, this kind of prince, arrogant teenager, slightly a bit older than the brother and sister, and definitely older than the last airbender guy, who is like he's like probably about 12, is kind of coded like kind of a Tibetan monk. Apparently he's been raised by monks. um, so maybe he doesn't know his family. You get that kind of sense of it's a Tibetan thing where he is he you get kind of chosen in like in Tibet, where you can get if you're a manifestation like the Dalai Lama or something like that, you end up leaving your family and getting raised by monks instead. That's the impression I get. He goes back to the village where he's very playful, much to the brother's frustration, because he's the oldest male around, because I guess all the other mothers and fathers have gone off to fight the the um, the fire clan in this great battle, which is not going well. So there's only like kind of old women and very young children left, and this brother and this sister, who are, I guess, probably maybe 13 or 14. This seems slightly a little bit older. Um, and But he's trying to kind of teach the younglings, like, how to be great warriors, and they're like, can we go to the washroom? Very cute. There's a lot of humor, especially from the brother. The brother gets to be kind of is definitely the comic relief, whereas the sister is more the kind of soulful, thoughtful one, uh, and uh, and she and the Airbender, whose names I'm going to have to get. I guess I'll have to learn if I'm reading the series. I'm going to watch the series. They seem to have a little bit of a bond. But yes, there is this fire element, firebender prince who seems to be he's in charge of this basically kind of a battleship. It's definitely seems to be encoded as the firebenders are technological, which it'll be interesting to see. I think of something like Tolkien, where the technological can sometimes get coded as evil. Uh, but you get something like Miyazaki, which definitely has that kind of tension between modern life and technology and nature, but doesn't kind of maybe break it down as simply evil, but sometimes of our obsession with technology is an overbalance. So it'll be interesting to see how it takes that there. It's funny, a lot of ways, like with the animation, I look at it at the moment, and it seems like very much kind of like it could be like a Saturday morning cartoon. It's not usually expensive, usually detailed. The music is very kind of synthtastic, which is also kind of a very Saturday morning cartoon thing for me. It sounds like somebody with a keyboard is just like dun 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 doing their doing their music. Um, it's coded kind of young, like it's coded at like the age of like the protagonists. So it's not like dark and complex. It's very kind of light and innocent. I get the sense that from my vague impression of what I've heard vaguely about the series, that it'll age up as it goes along, sort of like the Harry Potter series did. So we have the first encounter with this fire firebender who he's a teenager. He's very angry. He has a burned scar on his face, so something's happened there. Maybe abusive parent. I wonder. Maybe. Um, and he's searching for. He wants to be the one who finds the last avatar because it's his honor is at stake, and he yells at the his trainer, who seems like kind of a cool kind of mellow guy, who kind of tells him, doesn't give him everything he wants, isn't completely kowtowed by him, because I think he definitely he seems to have a much more firmer grasp on as a firebender. They talk about the teenagers like, you've only got the basics. You're not ready, and you're not particularly ready for the advanced stuff. And he says, well, I have to be, because I'm going to find that last airbender. And the guy's like, yeah, well, people have been trying to find him for 100 years, so you're probably not going to be the one. They do. They go to the village. They threaten the village. The airbender goes, "Oh, you're gonna hurt all these people if I don't go with you." So it goes with. So it's like, "Will you just leave them alone if I go with you?" And he says, "Yeah." So he takes them. The brother and sister go after him with the flying bison. They go, and he's already escaped, and he's trying to escape